This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
Good evening. Welcome to the Easthampton City Council special meeting for Wednesday, June 28th. The meeting tonight is being recorded and broadcast by e-media on Charter Channel 193 and live streaming on their webpage, easthamptonmedia.org. Councilors are participating in these meetings are gathering hybrid on their executive order extended until March 2025, which allow us to do so. Remind both the member of the City Council and public participant remain mute until recognized by the City Council President. Also, for the member of the public, please remove your camera for the duration of the meeting unless you are participating at the public hearing tonight. Now this meeting is called to order. Barbara.
Connie Denham. Here. Salem Derby.
Present.
Omar Gomez.
Here.
J.P. Kaczynski. Dave Munier.
Here.
Tom Peak.
Here.
Brad Riley.
Here.
Dan Rist.
Here.
Owen Zarrett.
I move to suspend our Pledge of Allegiance rule due to the fact we don't have a flag.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to suspend the rule. Those one in favor?
Aye.
Anyone against? Abstention? Motion passes. Public speak time. This is the opportunity for the public to address any topic regarding that is not listed on the public hearing. Is anyone from the public that want to communicate something with the council? This is the time.
I just want to say hello. Can I do that at this point?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I'm Marla
Can you-
Solomon.
Exactly. I need your name and address for the record.
Yeah, okay. 12 Nefer Avenue, Easthampton. I'm on the Community Relations Committee, and my colleague Mary Ansara, I think, attended your last meeting. I don't know if she had a chance to explain that we've decided to attend city council meetings to just be better informed and more connected to all the things that are going around, and we're taking turns. So tonight's my turn, and I'm happy to be here and meet those of you that I haven't met before. So it's good to be here.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none. Who? No, that's fine.
I think Gwen might want to say something.
She did put her flag in.
You want to ask her? Because I think
What's her name?
her name is Gwen.
When? Do you want to say something at police speak time? I will take a motion to open public hearing.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion and a second to open public hearing. Any further discussion? Seeing none, for those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone against? Abstention? Motion passes. Councilor Risk.
Thank you. The Finance Committee approved the transfer of $150,741.70, 3-0. At this time, I'd like the mayor to do, as she did at the Finance Committee, explain the history of the South Hadley Electric Light agreement with the city and how it went from where it began and what occurred and how we got to where we are now, where we have a legal agreement to terminate our contract moving forward.
So after the city's non-binding ballot for a municipal light plan, we did an intergovernmental agreement for phase 1 with a brief description of phase 2, building out what the fiber network would look like in Easthampton. As we were ending phase 1, which is design and whatnot, it became very clear as we saw what it would cost to get our own broadband network off the ground was really not sustainable. With the upcoming bonding we had for the school and other municipalities' needs. We then terminated that intergovernment agreement and then came to settlement with Shell for work in phase 1 that had been done but not paid for. So this amount represents work that we actually had done around design and looking at where poles needed to be changed, and it will complete phase 1. And there's been there's a joint agreement between us that phase 2 will not happen.
And basically this
Just 1 second for the public. Can you hear me now? I'm sorry, but I think we had some issues with people listening. Okay, yeah. Because we had, and I apologize, Madam Mayor, I know we're in a public hearing, but after the public hearing, I'm gonna open public speak time again, because I guess we will have some issues with the microphone. So I just want everybody to know here that we're gonna open public speak time after we finish with the public hearing. Sorry.
That was
My apologies.
my presentation is done.
Basically, this legal agreement prevents us from going into litigation, further litigation, costing the city more legal fees, maybe incurring up to $500,000 in settlement costs, etc. So this is a good result for an unfortunate situation.
I apologize again for the microphone, but for the benefit of the public that is participating remote, can you please explain it one more time?
Sure.
For the people?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
So
It's
the
working
city had a non-binding ballot question around having our own municipal light plan. It overwhelmingly passed, and my office went forward and signed an intergovernmental agreement with the South Hadley Electric Light Division, Shell, to design a design phase and really kind of cost out what our own municipal broadband system network would look like. Towards the end of phase one, it really became apparent that the money we would need as a city to launch and then get what's a take rate, like people buying in, would require bonding and investment by the city that really long-term was not sustainable. So at the end of phase one, back in May, said to Shell that it just isn't financially feasible for us. And we parted ways. The money that I'm asking to be appropriated tonight is actually for work that has already been done by Shell, and we have the work product, Karin has it, just to kind of wrap up the contract in good faith.
Thank you. Councilor Rist,
I have no further, do you need me to state my
can you
statement again?
please?
As I said previously, this agreement prevents further litigation, which could be costly to the city for legal fees and maybe settlement fees up to $500,000. So it's a good result for an unfortunate situation.
Thank you. Any councilor have any questions or comment? Councilor Riley?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think, you know, we're moving into almost 2 years now that I've been on the council, and there are multiple times where I have called out what I think is frivolous waste of money. And when I first heard about this situation, admittedly, I was a little upset at, you know, the idea that we would be having to spend a large sum of money like this without any sort of a final product. You know, I think one of the things that we need to take into consideration is that whenever litigation is on the table, there is an unknown amount of risk on both sides on whether or not you could successfully litigate a situation like this versus not. And like Councilor Rist said, either way, we are looking at hundreds of thousands of dollars that could come as a result of this. And, you know, so it brings me no joy to vote yes for $150,000, but the alternative of, you know, $500,000, $600,000, and what that could do to our community, to me, is too great of a risk. And I think that what we are doing, though it does have a little bit of a price tag shock on it, I think is the right thing to do. So, you know, I'm sure the public will have more questions about this you know, as the weeks unfold. I think we're more than capable of answering those questions. Just know that this is the safest thing to do for the city of Easthampton. And, you know, my ultimate goal when taking these kinds of votes into consideration is the people that work inside this building, and, you know, the jobs that they have and the families that they have at home, and, you know, any sort of undue risk to those people is something that I take very seriously. So, thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Riley. Any other councilor? Anyone from the public want to participate in this public hearing? have any questions or comments? Seeing none, before taking the motion, Madam Mayor, you mentioned that they do some work, right? And we have that. If any company is gonna invest in Easthampton for the fiber optic, is there a way that the city can sell that to this company coming to Easthampton, or is no way that no one's gonna use that in the future? Or that is just for the community?
No, we wouldn't sell it, but we've already shared it with other companies, AT&T, Verizon, who are actually looking to put cell towers, like the AT&T cell tower, and GoNet Speed, which is a private company that we're working with to get the whole city built out for fiber. So they looked at Sheld's work and the strength of the poles and what poles would be replaced. So there is a function for it. There will definitely, for somebody like GoNet Speed, they will have to confirm and redo those tests, the network over, but it's a private entity, it won't be a cost to the city, but what we've paid for, it's usable.
Thank you. Before taking the motion, any other concerns? Seeing none, go to the rest.
I move that the full council approve an interdepartmental transfer of $150,741.70 to be transferred from the reserve fund, $150,741.70, to be transferred to the Sheld legal agreement, $150,731.70. The amount requested for the following purpose: to provide funding for the legal settlement with Sheld, that is the South Hadley Electric Light Department, related to intergovernmental agreement for professional services and fiber network design and services.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for interdepartmental transfer of $150,741.70 to provide funding of legal settlement with the South Hadley Electric Light Department. Any further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone against? Abstentions? No, motion passes.
Mr. President, I move the public hearing be closed.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. Any further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone against? Abstention? Seeing none, motion passes. Going back to, before taking that motion, I'm going back to the public speak time. I apologize before the microphone wasn't working for the section of the public speak time. Is anyone from the public participating remote? They want to say something to the council? Gwen, do you want to say something, or anyone else? Yeah, just mute it. I think that we can live with that.
Possible, so that's just.
All right.
We tried.
Try the microphone is working. So, before taking the motion to adjourn, we have to make a motion to release the minutes.
Mr. President, I vote to release the executive session minutes.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to release the minutes from the executive sessions. Any further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor?
Aye.
Say aye. Anyone against? Abstention? Seeing none, motion passes. We take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to adjourn. Those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. See you, everybody.
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.